I'm Jessica Mendoza, U.S. Olympic gold and silver medalist. I never take my eyesight for granted. Neither should you. Doesn't matter how old you are, you could be losing your vision to glaucoma without knowing it. Take care of your sight. Schedule regular eye exams for yourself and those you love. Call 1-800-437-2423 or go to ahaf.org for free information and publications from National Glaucoma Research. That's 1-800-437-2423.
Morning, gentlemen. Want to hear our specials?
Sure.
First, we have the seafood special. It's been sitting around here for a week. We're known around these parts for food poisoning.
Wouldn't it be great if you could be warned of life's risks? If you have diabetes, you can. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that can help measure your risk of complications from diabetes. To find out more, go to www.diabetesa1c.org. Brought to you by the American Diabetes Association, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation International, and the Ad Council.
News Talk 1450 WOL-AM, where information is power.
See, Alan, take that ugly jersey off you got over here.
All right, everyone, we're back here live. Alonzo, you missed it. He was trying to pull my Redskin jersey this morning. But it's all right, though. Hail to the Redskins. Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right, everyone, we're back here live. We're back here live with the father of makeup, Reggie Wells. We're so excited to have him to call in from Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. So, Reggie, I wanted to go back to Andre, had that question. Andre, go ahead.
How you doing, Mr. Wells? Nice to hear from you again.
How you doing, Andre?
I'm great. As Mr. Bennett told you, I'm an artist, and I'm trying to make the transition from being an artist on paper and canvas with paints and pastels to actually doing the makeup. I met you last year at the Makeup Symposium, and I was really, really intrigued by what you were bringing, to the makeup conference, and I really want to be a part of that. So I was wondering, how can I make that transition as an artist?
Well, the painting and the canvas is how I started when drawing. Your first step is for you, because that's going to help you an awful lot. The only thing about texture of makeup and texture of paper and canvas is totally a little different thing. So you have to play with it. The techniques that you use on painting, like softening or deepening or using the color, that's interesting. So that's the first step. So you work on it. But you got to sit people in front of you. You got to know what that skin feels like. The challenge is going to be, how do you make those colors work for you on a skin?
Right.
So working on a canvas, you know what to pick.
Right.
If someone sits down in front of you, you never know how that skin's going to take that makeup. So keep working on it. I think practice. But you have the first gift already. If you can paint a face.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so now, Reggie, one of our listeners asked, why are lashes so popular?
That's a good question. I made lashes very popular coming back into the 2000 year, because I think I did a lot of lashes for Oprah in the year we started with the 2000 look, and a lot of people questioned me, what was I doing different? And with Oprah, I was using the lash because you have to make compensation when you don't have a lid. And so the lash actually makes a little more drama in the eye. And if you look at your eye now, it could be very dead in the sense of it doesn't have any drama. Most people don't have a lid. Some people do have a lid. Lashes do all the drama you need. It was told to me by Diane Carroll back in 1986. She said, darling, what you do is when you don't have the drama, you can always add to it. And that's when I discovered that the lash could do that for you. And it's become one of the most popular accessories in makeup today.
Absolutely. So now, do you think that, another question from our listeners, how hard is it to do makeup for television?
Well, television has become that HD category where you see everything from the pimple to the eye to every lash. And if you ever do a close-up in HD, you'll find out that instead of trying to overwork the makeup, you're better off keeping the skin really visible. In other words, you can't do HD television makeup in a heavy a very heavy mode. So you have to be very careful nowadays because you can see every line if you're not. So you put less makeup. You don't do all the drama and all the color. Be very careful on doing television makeup because color can actually hurt you. Too much color. That's a big point. But you got to do television to understand it.
Gotcha. All right. Now, another listener, and I'm going to try to short the question because it's kind of lengthy. But basically, she wants you to talk about the difference with the magazine covers with the airbrush compared to when you used to do the makeup back in the day on the magazine before they started airbrushing. Is airbrushing kind of taken away from the artist's creativity and their ability for people to really see that they can really do great magazine work? Because according to her question is talking about so much airbrushing, you don't know if it's makeup from the artist or is it the airbrushing from the agency?
Well, if it's airbrush, it's not the makeup from the artist. And the biggest test for that is when I started in 1975, you didn't have the airbrush. You had the airbrush technique, but it was very, very expensive to do. So the artists have to be really prone to knowing what they were doing. It's called Photoshop. So everybody takes what they do and draw over it. It's called Photoshop. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to social media and technique. I put 3 people up on the stage once, and I told them to do a makeup for me. I said it's for a cover. And I gave them that compensation as far as, can they do this without any kind of problem? And when they told me they were finished, I thought they were kidding. It looked like a puzzle of color. And the first thing out of their mouths were, well, it's not Photoshop yet. I said, then you don't deserve 1 penny of any money that you get for this job because you haven't done the job. Because if you're depending on a technique or a technical operation to finish up, clean up your job, then I can't call you an artist. So you are not in this competition. You may get off the stage immediately. Because the problem with Photoshop is that we don't get the true essence. I had to paint and I had to make it soft. I had to make it hard. I had to do anything they wanted to do. The first thing an art director tells you is that we don't have the money to do any kind of retouching. So make sure you have that job complete. I teach that. I teach what a makeup looks like compared to Photoshop and retouch.
Okay, that sounds good. Andre, you had a question?
Yeah, Mr. Wells, I have a question for you. Out of all of the artists that you've done, which one has made you very nervous? Has any of them made you nervous?
No, I can see you don't know me. I've never made me nervous in my entire life. You don't go in there with any kind. First of all, if you go in somewhere where you're nervous, you have lost the battle already. The first thing they want to see, do you have confidence? I didn't get to do all these people by coming in there nervous. What you go in there is you know that you're an artist. They sing or they dance or they act. That's what they do. So you don't come in being nervous at what you do. You're auditioning no matter where you are. So when you walk in there, have the confidence and the ability to say, what do you want to look like? And that eases all of the nervousness, either from me or them. But the confidence of what you need, don't ever walk into a celebrity because you won't ever come back.
Right. That's good.
So Mr. Wells,
yeah,
that's good.
On that same note, I mean, were any of the artists that you've done, were they more difficult, or did they anger you, or I mean, how were you able to continue to work with some of them? Were they difficult, any of them?
Well, if you allow people to see, this is where the power lies. That's why I say personality is a real great point about what you do. Nobody is ever difficult. What you do is you work around who they are. Difficult means that you're either upset that day, or you don't know, or you might be worried. So the whole point is you got to bring them at ease. Diana Ross had a personality. It was difficult. But if you go in there and you say, Miss Ross, what do you want to look like today? And have you had your coffee or your tea? It comes out of the box. You have to come out of the box sometimes. What's the name was very difficult? Anita Baker. Some personalities are difficult, but if you want to work with them, you work around that personality. But nobody's actually nasty, because we all go to things every day.
Right.
So you don't know whether they slept right, or did they eat the right thing, or did they drink too much liquor the night before? We don't know. But we go in there humble, and we go in there like we're there to do a job. And I have never left a job without making somebody stop.
Wow,
That's wonderful.
Now, how important is it to have? I'm trying to understand what she's saying. Okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So now the next question that from our listener is how important is it to keep your mouth shut?
Mm-hmm. Well, there we go with that personality 50-50. People who come to my class, they learn what that 50-50 means, because in a classroom, you have to do what you're supposed to do. And they find out really, really quick what 50-50 means. Because first of all, if you got a big mouth and you don't have any talent, I'm going to put you out from the jump street. Mm. So the important part about listening is you have to be able to back whatever that is that you have. So you can come in there, this is confident, and I had a student that come in last year when we did the symposium. He had his mouth open, and he was this, and he was that, and he said what he could do, but you know what? I had to shut up, because when he started to work, he could back up everything he said and everything he stood for. So it is important to have that confidence, and when you have that confidence, you can open your mouth when you have something right to say, and your work can back it up.
Gotcha. All right, so what's going to happen is, Father Makeup, we're going to have to take another commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk about other celebrity artists for a second. I want to talk about what is your take on these new artists that are out there. And we just got a couple of other questions. So if everybody just tuning in, we're talking to the Reggie Wells, over 21 years on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and has touched so many women and men throughout the country, is answering our questions today, talking to us about makeup artistry. He will be teaching in January at the Celebrity Beauty Weekend, the Celebrity Makeup Symposium.
It's gonna be so
if you
exciting.
haven't registered, you need to call us now, 202-526-1400, extension 45. This is C. Allen, 1450 AM WOL, where information is power. We'll be right back after these messages.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning, I'm Doug Parrish. Here's the latest from News1.com. President Obama will sound off today about problems with the new healthcare exchange website. In a Rose Garden event, the president will declare the website problems unacceptable, and he'll lay out ways for consumers to sign up for health insurance. Now, even with all the problems, supporters say demand is high for the new healthcare exchange.
19 million individual visits to the website. That's huge. 500,000 people, close to 500,000 people already filing applications, even with the computer glitches.
Now, that was Senator Chuck Schumer speaking on NBC's Meet the Press program. Well, a big heads up if you're driving around Maryland today. Maryland State Police will be conducting a traffic campaign starting today, targeting drivers and the new Move Over law. Julie Carpenter reports.
Special enforcement operations will be underway in every part of the state to inform drivers about the law that requires them to change into the next available lane or slow down as they approach emergency vehicles that are stopped on the side of the road. This month there have been several instances in which troopers or their vehicles were struck by passing traffic.
And that was Julie Carpenter reporting. In sports, it was a slugfest at FedEx Field, and the Redskins came out on top. The Skins beat the Bears 45-41 in a shootout. Quarterback Robert Griffin III said it was a must-win for Washington.
Felt good. Great team win. We had to win a shootout, and we did. And that's what we talked about as a team. Whatever the situation calls for, that's what we got to do.
Well, the Redskins now sit at 2-4 on the season, and they travel to Denver next Sunday to play the Broncos. And this report is being brought to you by the Columbia Bank, offering online and mobile financial tools to help make your banking easier. Just go online to sign up. The Columbia Bank. I'm Doug Parrish. When you're looking for news for Black America, go to newsone.com.
News Talk 1450 WOL presents the Heritage Sports Radio Network Game of the Week. Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. It's an in-state rivalry. When the Hornets of State head over to A&M to take on the Bulldogs. It's going down Saturday at 2:30 p.m. The Heritage Sports Radio Network Game of the Week. Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. Brought to you by Geico and News Talk 1450 WOL.
Hear that? It's my husband sleeping soundly. He may not always be charming, but he's always my prince.
For tips on navigating the highs and lows of a healthy marriage, visit twoofus.org. You'll find advice on managing money, disagreeing without fighting, and keeping the spark of romance in your relationship. Visit twoofus.org. Sponsored by the National Healthy Marriage Resource Center and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
1450 WOL.
All right, everyone, we're back here. We live with the father of makeup, Reggie Wells. We're so honored and privileged to have him here with us today. Now, father of makeup, talk to me quickly about what do you think about these celebrity artists, makeup artists that are out here today? What is your take on the new talent that's?
Who? Oh, I'm sorry. Who?
Okay, well, let's move on. Now,
okay, no, give them to me.
No. I'm not gonna say any names. I'm just saying the way that the industry is going now. Tell me your thoughts.
You know, what has done? What is the industry is doing is it's kind of upsetting to me because I walk around to department stores and I watch new makeup artists all the time because I'm always looking for an assistant. What I see now that's happening is that we are a bunch of copycats. Y'all are copycats. Y'all copying, y'all just turning around. That's why I can't wait. You know what I love about your school? That when you bring those guys in, and that's why I tell people, if you think you're a makeup artist, come sit with me for a minute. Just come on and sit with me. Because what we're doing, we're lying to a lot of them. And what's so sad about it is that they are not going to get the work unless they create. You don't copy an eyebrow. I remember saying, you can't copy me, you can't copy Sam, you can't copy people. What you do is you take from what we have and you add to it. Let me give you an example. Oprah Winfrey was the number one talk show, is the number one talk show host. And if you try to copy her, you will not be successful. But if you invent different things and go by what you see, you're always going to be a winner. Do you think how many schools are out there now teaching makeup, hair schools? They didn't do it before. They didn't do it. Even Paul Mitchell is doing it, bringing people in. So you have to take from the people who have been out there, and you reinvent yourself. So I don't think we have number one category makeup artists like we should have at this point.
Mr. Wells, let me ask you a question.
Come on.
What do you recommend for someone who is thinking about makeup artistry and they're getting ready to pick up these brushes and they're about to pick these brushes up for the first time? What do you recommend for them? I mean, because they're a blank page and they need to be taught from the beginning. What do you recommend?
First of all, don't pick up a brush. That's the first thing. Don't pick up a brush. That's the first thing, because you don't need to pick up not a tool to your name if you don't know what that tool does. What you need to do is start playing in makeup. In my first book, I said read it, watch it, and go play. Go play. Go play a while. Take some color, learn how to blend it with your fingers, with your hands. Because if a child learns how to do finger paint when he's 5 and 6 years old, what he does is he bundles the color. He swishes the color back and forth. And that's what you do. You need to work with color first and skin and touch it. Don't use a brush, because you got to know what kind of skin that is.
Right.
Now, see, that's a vital point that people miss, because we invented all those tools so we could make money. That's what the companies did. There were no brushes in 1926 and 1938. There weren't any.
Exactly. So now,
fingers.
So why do you? What prompts you to come out year after year to the Celebrity Makeup Symposium here in Washington, D.C.?
You know what? Because I'm a teacher first, and I love to see people reinvent themselves. You know, when you come out and you pay for a class, that means you want to be somebody. And this is an opportunity that you have given for years in the hair school, the barber school, and now even makeup. You were one of the people who first opened their doors to know that there wasn't no difference in beauty. Beauty covers everything from fashion to everything you could possibly think of. So you reinvented that door. I keep coming out because I like the school. I keep coming out because I tell people on this radio, take that money and use that money to experience. You know, most people on my level don't come out. That's what you have to realize. Most people on my level don't come out. And I'll tell you that's because they don't know how to be the teachers of tomorrow. They don't know what that is. They were lucky enough to be in the place at the right time. Because if you don't give it back, then there's no need to have it in your bag. Learn how to give it back and spread it.
Absolutely. So now the next question then will be, why do you feel that the Celebrity Makeup Symposium is really crucial for new artists to experience?
Well, I think I just almost covered that as I told them that I need them to come out, and it's an experience because this school has done this over and over again. You are bringing different type of artists in. You're not just bringing one type of artist. That's what I love about it. Most schools don't teach with all this big symposium effort where they are, you know, going to different classes with different subjects and things like that. You know, you give them 2 days of learning. And so at that price that we give them, it's phenomenal that they come out, because those people that you're doing this with are all professionals. We're not people down the block. We're people that have been out there in the treads, and we can tell you exactly what to expect and if you're good or not, if you have talent. What I love about that symposium is that people come out and they find out that they are good at something.
Yes.
Putting on a lash or doing contour or whatever. Some people are better than others, but some people just want to keep working on it. That's the symposium. That's what makes the difference. And I tell everybody right now, young and old, if this is an opportunity for you, first of all, I want to meet you, and then secondly, don't waste your life when you have an opportunity like this to improve it.
Mr. Wells, you just hit.
That's awesome.
You just hit on something that I was just about to ask you about. You know, there's some older people out there who are really interested in reinventing themselves, and they're listening and they want to come to the symposium, but they're a little bit apprehensive because they feel like they're older. What kind of advice do you have for them?
And you know what? And you know, wait a minute. You know what, Father?
I'm going to give good advice because they're actually going to be talking with the grandfather of makeup. I'm old, and I can still push a brush. So if you're going to be frightened because you're old, then you're making a big mistake. You know what I feel good about? That I'm still here.
Yes.
4 decades of makeup. 4. Not 3, not 2, not 1, 4. I've seen it change. I've seen it come back. I've seen it turn around. And if Patrick Kelly and all these designers were alive, and Michael Weeks, who were all around when I was starting, they could tell you, don't waste your life if you have any sort of talent. And let me say something else, because this is where people make their mistake. You never have to get a check from the government if you have a skill. Okay? Let me say it again.
Say it again.
You never have to get a check from the government if you have a skill. Because if you can cut hair like you teach, you can do hair, you can get it in the alley, you can get it in the corner, you can sit in the bathroom and always make $2 here. And if you have makeup skills. So this is an opportunity for people to work at what they do best. It's a skill. It's a skill.
And, you know, I just, and I think, listen, this is a perfect time for that seasoned person. You know, we had a lady who came last year who was in her late 60s, and she says, I always wanted to do makeup, but I don't know. And I told her, and I met off the radio, and I told her, I said, come out, see Reggie, see the other artists, and if nothing else, just determine then, it's a low price, determine if this is something that you really want to do, and to continue to carry it forth. 202, everybody, 526-1400, the finance room.
Great investment of your life, really.
Extension 45. We have live with us the father of makeup, 4 decades of making women look beautiful. The thing that I love about you, Reggie Wells, is, number one, when you get in that classroom, you know nonsense. Number two, you have awesome stories from over so many years of working with so many different celebrities. Number three, if you can't do nothing else, you can beat a face. My God. I've never seen someone do a brow like Reggie Wells in my life. I've never seen anyone do brows and lashes like Reggie Wells in my life. I've never seen anyone that can teach everyday women how to do their own face in one session. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't no hoax here. This is something that we've been doing. This is the 9th annual Celebrity Makeup Symposium. We took it to the convention center, not so we can pack it out with more people, but we took it to the convention center so the artists can have more room, so they can have more models in the room, so the artists can stretch out, so the makeup people who are coming out will not have to be worrying about their bags and everything. See, at the Bennett Career Institute, you know, we only have a 30,000 square foot facility, but most of that is the auditorium, the daycare, all of that. But the classrooms, you know, are just decent sizes. We wanted to go someplace where they can spread out. Let Reggie Wells see their kit. Let him see what you're doing. And I think that is one thing that we just appreciate. And Reggie, let me tell you, you bring that star power to the event every year. When we post that photo that we've got from your camp with all of those Essence covers, all of those Oprah Winfrey covers, it speaks for itself. You don't have to say anything. It speaks for itself. You are a legend.
Well, thank you. I love that. I love working at the Bennett Institute.
You are a legend in this industry, and if anyone that are even out there who know how to do makeup, we've been talking about the novice. We've been talking about the person who who don't even know what a powder brush is. But also those of you, we have a class for the experienced people. You want to sit under Reggie and do that face so he can critique you. Where in the world can you get a critique from somebody been in the industry over 4 decades?
Nowhere but the Bennett Career Institute.
Telling you what's right and what's wrong. Listen, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to finish out with the father of makeup. We'll be right back. This is C. Allen, Andre. This is the C. Allen Morning Show. We're talking about the big event, the Celebrity Beauty Weekend, and we have so many different celebrities coming from the We Channel, from Bravo. We got so many of them coming out to teach you hair,
LA Hair,
Chicago-licious, Hip Hop Atlanta, all kinds of folks that's going to be there. But the most important thing we're talking about now is the Makeup Symposium. When we come back, we're going to finish our conversation with the father of makeup, Reggie Wells. We'll be back after these messages.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning. This WOL Traffic and Weather Report brought to you by the Columbia Bank on New York Avenue. Inbound, you're going to find the construction in the right lane of 3 just as you enter the district near South Dakota Avenue Northeast, causing delays both on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway southbound through Cheverly, also inbound on Route 50, very slow from 202 into town, into the work zone. L Street Northwest, right in front of the Convention Center, closed between 7th and 9th Street, right under the overpass there for a special event. It's time to tap play with the Columbia Bank, offering online and mobile financial tools to help make your banking easier. Just go online to sign up. Message and data rates may apply. Now your WOL weather forecast for today: mostly sunny, a high near 70. Tonight, clear down to about 50 for low. And for tomorrow, partly sunny day, a high near 64. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 AM WOL, where information is power.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete? 1 in 16,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sound or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs, visit autismspeaks.org.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
News Talk 1450 WOL presents the Heritage Sports Radio Network Game of the Week. Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. It's an in-state rivalry. When the Hornets of State head over to A&M to take on the Bulldogs. It's going down Saturday at 2:30 p.m. The Heritage Sports Radio Network Game of the Week. Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. Brought to you by Geico and News Talk 1450 WOL.
1450 WOL.
Yes, indeed. All right, everyone, here we are so excited. Reggie Wells, I tell you, our time is up. And those of you, I know you're not just tuning in on the last few minutes, but we have Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist over 21 years, Reggie Wells, who has touched everyone's faces for over the last 4 decades and is still doing outstanding. Let me tell you something, Father Makeup. The stuff that you did last year had the same amount of fervence, the same amount of steam, the same amount of just wonderful, inspirational methods that you did when you first came to us back in 2005. So my last question is, where did you get all this energy from?
Well, I've been very blessed, and I think people have to recognize that because I saw it destroy with a lot of celebrities. So at 66 years old, I am now, and I'm really just grateful to be able to hold the brush or the paint over my finger and still be able to do it. I just finished doing Jennifer Hudson last week, and she had to turn around and said, Reggie, you are amazing. I mean, your work is phenomenal. And I just told her, I said, I'm very blessed to be able to do people like you and people before you. So I get that zest just by making people happy. I'm still a people person, and that's the blessing that I have, I think. And I get that from teaching. I really feel good when people can learn. And that gift, we're losing that teacher quality. We don't have it like we used to.
Exactly. All right. Oh,
I'm sorry, Mr. Wells. I just personally just wanted to thank you for all of your contributions to the Bennett Career Institute, as well as the Celebrity Makeup Symposium. You have altered a lot of people's lives. You have done some great things for a lot of people. You have touched a lot of people that,
Oh, I'm glad.
Yes, I just want to thank you personally because it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, sir.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
And so what's going to happen is we're going to go now, but we're going to have you back on in December because we want you to tell everybody about your. We're not going to tell it now, but tell everybody about your move, the new exciting things that's going to happen. So we're going to have you in on December, so we can go over all the great things that you're doing. Until then, Father Makeup, we will talk soon. You have an awesome week, and you be blessed.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking forward to see everybody come out.
All right, everyone. That was Reggie Wells. We're going to go to the phone line real quick. We have Jawan Clark on the line, and I know that November the 3rd is going to be phenomenal. Miss Clark, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bennett. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely awesome. Did you have a question, Clark?
No, I didn't have a question, but I meant to call in earlier, but I got kind of busy at the shop. I just wanted to announce the Allen Salon and Mouth Outfitters presenting their first annual fashion show, hair show, and I am so excited about it. Sunday, November the 3rd at 700 Monroe Street, Northeast. It's from 5 until 8 p.m. We have tickets available right now. Tickets are $10, and we have VIP tickets for $15. The VIP consists of front row seat with a free gift bag.
Okay.
And then we also hosting tomorrow, which is Tuesday, is an happy hour meet and greet for our clients, and it consists of you bring two friends with you, and you'll receive a free basic service.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, everyone? Because, you know, my listeners, they love, and my listeners love to, they love something free. Miss Clark is the manager at our salon at Martin Luther King, right across from the big chair. And she has a special. They're having a meet and greet tomorrow. They have a show on November the 3rd, and their meet and greet is allowing you to bring two people in with you, and you get a basic service for free. I think that's really awesome. That address is 2100 MLK Junior Avenue, Suite C. We're right next to the Bank of America at the 2100 Martin Luther King. They have a show that's coming up on the 3rd. Is that this Sunday or next Sunday? When
That's the next following Sunday.
Okay, yes. I need everybody to get their tickets. Clark, give them the phone number where they can get their tickets. The ticket's only $10. I am the MC. I want you to come out to the school and see me. The MLK location, Martha's Outfitters, they are doing a fabulous fundraiser, fashion, and hair show on Sunday, November the 3rd. All of you, tickets are only $10.
Miss Clark, are we going to have some fun?
Oh, yes. We're going to have a good time, a glorious time.
Okay, what's the phone number?
I'm excited. The phone number is 202-678-1009, or you can call 202-885-9613.
Okay, very good. And next week, what we're going to do is, Clark, we're going to give some lucky winners an opportunity to come to the fashion show. But until then, I want you to call the salon, 202-678-1009. Come out, enjoy yourself. Some of you never go anywhere. We have wheelchair accessible. We have an elevator that'll take you right to the auditorium. Come out and enjoy the Martin Luther King as they put on their fashion show. Thank you, Clark.
Thank you.
All right, now keep in mind, and some of you still haven't called the Derek J event. If you like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Derek J, he's coming out to the Bennett Career Institute on November the 10th. Today is the last day for those $10 tickets. That's the Sunday after Miss Clark's event, and those tickets are $10. You need to call the finance office right now if you're going to come out. It's open to the public. Janelle Sealy Smith is doing a weave within 10 minutes. Derek J is doing a live demonstration on stage. If you're interested in coming out meeting celebrity hairstylist Derek J from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's open to the public. You have to call now, 202-526-1400, and that is extension 45 to the finance office. And now on November the 17th, I said, Lord have mercy, I need to change Bennett Career Institute to Bennett Career Baptist Church because we got so many announcements. I'm sorry, Holy Ghost Field Church, because there's so many announcements. But on November 17th is our annual benefit that we do, the Wigs for Wonderful Women for Washington Hospital Center. Every year, the students at the Bennett Career Institute, we make hand-sewn wigs that we can donate to Washington Hospital Center Cancer Institute. We like to raise at least $1,000 every year to give, and we put it right in the hands of the survivors by giving them gift cards for the grocery stores and all that kind of stuff. It's so important that we understand that the holiday season is a time of giving. It's not about receiving, but it's a time of giving. And those tickets are $10, and that is for the hair fashion show on the 17th for for cancer awareness. Washington Hospital Center Cancer Institute. This will be our 3rd annual event that we do. 2 years in a row, we were able to give them $1,000+, and we want to do that again. For those of you who do not want to come back to back like that, because that's 3 Sundays in a row, I want you to call the finance office and make your donation. Donate to the 3rd Sunday in November, November 17th, the benefit for the Washington Hospital Center Cancer Institute to allow us an opportunity to bless those people, you can call that same number. Now, I know I done gave that number on a million times, which is 202-526-1400, extension 19. That will give, extension 45 will give you the finance office. So it's important that you come out and show out. Listen, I understand that a lot of you get excited when I come visit your churches and I make those announcements and I come out to different events. But we want you have to remember, whatever man soweth, that shall he also reap. You need to come out to events that we're doing. You need to come to the school, get your hair done. Let's work with each other. I work with those who work with me. Every Tuesday and Wednesday is Senior Citizen Day. Wednesday and Friday is Half Price Chemical Day. This is at 700 Monroe Street Northeast. We're right off of Michigan Avenue. We're right next to the Brooklyn Catholic Subway Station. So this is your opportunity, a $5 haircut, free $5 haircut, and everything else is half off. All right, my time is up. We had a great day, Andre, talking about makeup artistry, the Celebrity Beauty Weekend,
and all that tea that you drunk. You didn't think nobody was watching.
The brochure will be out this week. And tickets go on sale November the 1st. Remember, if you know someone with a if you know someone with a DC license, if you have a DC licensed beauty professional that's nail tech, barber, hair, esthetician, what have you, they need to call now to register. 202-526-1400, extension 45. My time is up, everyone. All right, Andre, it's been great. Thanks again to Marcy Walker for the Self-Image Awards. Our time is up. So remember, pamper yourself. It's your duty. Why?
Because you are worth it.
Because you are worth it. And again, for those of you, remember, 202-526-1400, extension 45. If you are a vendor, make sure you call Henri, 202-526-1400, extension 18. All right, everybody, let me say it again. Remember, pamper yourself. It's your duty. Why?
Because you are worth it.
Have a good week, everyone.
1450 WOL.
Geico presents a man who just saved on his motorcycle insurance.
What up? Evan here. Question. You like apples? I'll get to that in a minute. First, check out my motorcycle. Flames? Yep. Saddlebags? Yep. Room for two? Negatory! Sorry, ladies. I ride solo. Now, wait for it. How you like them apples? Aw, don't cry. Insuring this beast was crazy easy. Called Geico and boom, saved enough to buy a sidecar. Now, if you dry your tears, I might just let you ride in it.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Hey, Todd.
Whoa, Doug, how did you get a PlayStation 4? It's not even out yet.
How did I get a PlayStation 4 before it's even out yet? Well, I'll tell you. I entered for a chance to win a PlayStation 4 before its official release after I purchased a $5 box at a participating Taco Bell location. What? Taco Bell is giving away one PlayStation 4 every 15 minutes. Prices may vary. Tax extra. No purchase necessary. Avoid or prohibited. Promotion ends 11/10/13. Official rules and free entry info at participating stores or www.tacobell.com/winps4. Play the future first.
Man, Doug, you've really changed since law school.
The joint supplements of today are sadly incomplete because they don't give you the joint relief you need. Until now. Introducing the complimentary 2-week sample of Instaflex, our most powerful joint formula ever. It's the #1 selling joint supplement at GNC. Claim your sample today. 1-800-451-6580. Great for your knees, hands, even your hips. Instaflex is available at GNC and Walgreens, but you can only get your complimentary sample by calling 1-800-451-6580. 1-800-451-6580.
I'm Ellie the Mammoth, and my friend Sid the Sloth knows what being a great parent is all about.
I'm responsible, loving, nurturing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is Morgan Freeman. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Doesn't always cause symptoms, but it can be prevented. Get screened.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
1450 WOL, Washington, D.C., and WPRS HD2, Waldorf, Washington, a Radio 1 station, and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, everybody, this is Georgette Miller, and it's Money Monday. It's 12 o'clock. This is 1450 News Talk. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining in with me one more time. And just so you know, from 12 to 12:30 every Monday, we're going to be right here, right now, doing the same thing. I'm here to talk to you guys about your money. Now, this is a conversation we don't often have, especially in communities that look like me. We just don't talk about money. And this is a conversation that needs to be had. And I'm here basically to provide you all with the education, to basically provide you with what tools are available to you today to get what we call in the bankruptcy code a fresh start under the law. So, for those of you who have taken up residence on what I like to call the debt plantation, and you're looking for a way to be emancipated, you're looking for a way to get off, and want to join in this conversation, give us a call now at 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. Pick up the phone, call us now. Let's join in with the conversation. Now, the concept I want to bring to y'all's attention is this: getting a fresh start on the law. Now, there's so much of us. I mean, with the federal government shut down, this shut down, some of us have not recouped from the financial recession or the Great Recession of 2008. You feel like you're struggling and you can't get out. You're asking yourself, seriously, what are my options? What options do I have? And I'm here to have a real conversation about bankruptcy. Let's start with this. General Motors in 2008 did their thing. They filed a Chapter 11 under the Bankruptcy Code. By 2012, they were the #1 car company in the world. American Airlines filed for Chapter 11 earlier this year, then merged with U.S. Air, and they're now the #1 airline in the world. People listening within the sound of my voice, why is it that these companies have the right to file for a Chapter 11 or exercise their rights to discharge, get rid of their unsecured debt so that they as a company could continue? And you don't believe, you sit there and believe you have no options. You sit there and believe because they're garnishing your wages, they have a right to do that. You sit there and believe that I didn't pay, I couldn't pay, my child got sick, I got into debt, and now they're garnishing my wages and I don't have options. I'm here to tell you, you have options. You've had these options since the beginning of this country. Like I said last week, Abraham Lincoln filed for bankruptcy. Walt Disney filed for bankruptcy. Ulysses Grant, that sits on your $50 bill, he filed for bankruptcy. So that these people did it so that they could save their financial lives. My question to you is this: why is it that you believe you don't have the very same right? Case in point, There's so many of you out there that, you know, you guys took out these mortgages. You had a first mortgage, and then they told you that your house had all this value. So you went ahead and you took out a second mortgage. And now when the recession happened, the value of your property fell. So now the value of your property is not what you thought it was when you took out the second mortgage. In some instances, I've had people come into my office and their house is worth half of what they thought it was worth 5 years ago. So you're in that position, but you're still struggling with these two mortgages. You have the legal right. I'm not making this up. I'm an attorney by trade. All I talk about is what the statutes I have to use to advocate on behalf of you guys. It's written right now in the bankruptcy statutes that you have the right to walk into bankruptcy court and file a Chapter 13 as long as I can prove to the bankruptcy judge that your house is now worth less than your first mortgage. You walk in, you file a Chapter 13, and you get rid of your second mortgage. So think of this. You may have the right as you sit here now. You're struggling trying to pay 2 mortgages. You have credit card bills up the wazoo. You're waiting and you're saying, oh my goodness, when am I going to get my bailout? You've had this bailout since the 70s. You have the right to basically walk into bankruptcy court, get rid of your second mortgage, and then get rid of all of your credit card debts in addition to that. And if you're behind on your first mortgage, the bankruptcy court is going to give you 5 years to catch up. You know, where I come from, they say, in the abundance of water, only the fool is thirsty. So if you are sitting there thirsty, check yourself. Why am I saying check yourself? Because you may have options that you're not exercising today. And you're sitting down wondering, what can I do? When the answer is right here in front of you. But wait a minute, let me tell you something. When I go into court every day, day after day, there are people there who know and who are exercising their right. There are people there that know. I'm telling you, some of them don't speak Spanish or English, but they know what rights are available to them, and they're using it for their best interests. My question is, why is it that people that look like me are not using the rights available to them? Now, some of you might say, oh, Miss Miller, I'm afraid. I am afraid. Now, where I come from, they say fear is merely an acronym for false evidence appearing real. It looks and feels real, but the evidence is false. Why? Let me just demystify some foolishness that's been in our community for a really long time. Most people believe that if they file bankruptcy today, they won't be able to do anything for 7 years. This is ultimately totally false. As a matter of fact, you could file a bankruptcy today and qualify for an FHA mortgage in 2 years. And there was an amendment to the HUD regulations that indicate that under certain circumstances, you could actually qualify for an FHA mortgage a year after filing bankruptcy. Most people believe that if I file bankruptcy today, my credit score is ruined for the rest of my life. Again, patently false. Why? Let's do the math. When you file, your credit score is based on your debt to income ratio, something called your DTI. Before filing bankruptcy, you have income, but you have a lot of debt. So your credit score may be really, really depressed because you have all this debt sitting on your credit right now. After you file bankruptcy, what happened? You still have your income, but what do you think happens to the debt? That's right. I see the wheels turning in your head. Now the debt is gone. So what does your DTI look like now? That's right. Now your DTI is great because you have all this income, but you don't have any debt. This is why within 30 days of filing, my clients get credit card applications and Oh my goodness. They start getting all kinds of applications to finance cars. Why? Lenders aren't stupid. They know that if you file bankruptcy, that means you've gotten rid of everybody who was in front of them that was taking all your money. If you file bankruptcy, now you don't owe anybody anything. So that means if they lend you money, more than likely, you have enough money to pay them back. You guys gotta think like CEOs and CFOs and COOs of your own lives. You are now GM. You are now American Airlines. You see that the financial enterprise that is your life is going under because of debt. And you're going to use whatever means are available to you to get out and to create a better financial start for you and your family. Why? Your family deserves it. Your family is entitled to it. Why is it that GM can get ahead and you believe you can't? Aren't you as deserving as GM? Aren't you as deserving as American Airlines? I believe back in the 90s, Kmart